CBS presents this program in color.
What's up? What's good, everybody? Welcome to week number 1 officially, because they did that whole 0-week thing last week of the PrepZone Football Preview. I'm Jack Patterson. That's David Mitchell of the Ledger-Enquirer, and that is Dayne Young, who is now permanently with us here on the desk. Which
I'm actually attached to this desk.
Can't move.
There are chains keeping me here.
We're in the flesh
for a long time.
Dayne's world.
When the lights go out, I stay here.
I think we're
a scary place to be.
Yeah, I'm gonna just walk out that way. But anyway.
I wish I could.
All right, so let's get started. We got a little bit of breaking news as we tape this. You brought it out earlier today that Zion Webb, the junior quarterback for Central, out for the season. Can you give us a little bit more detail on that and how that impacts not only their matchup with Harris County this week, but the rest of the season?
Yeah, likely out for the season. Again, you know, coaches, they don't like to tip their hand totally, but he said likely out for the season. It's a knee injury, like I kind of thought, just based on the play and what it looked like. I was kind of thinking it would be in the neighborhood of an ACL. I don't know if that's an official word yet. They didn't say, but you know, this week what it does is, look, that offense didn't score a single offensive touchdown with him last week, and you know, last game of the last season without Travion Samuel in the playoffs last year, they scored only 7 points. So I think now we've got a little question mark starting to surround Central a little bit. And this is a team that we had everybody penciled in as the number 2, the biggest threat to Hoover in Class 7A, and one of the top 50 teams in the nation according to at least one ranking. So the defense is every bit as good as we thought. They were maybe 2 or 3 plays away from being perfect. But that offense has a lot of questions to answer, and they're not going to win a state championship. Forget a state championship. They're not going to win that region, as tough as it is, without finding somebody who can make plays on offense. And they got to answer that fast.
You saw the injury in person.
Yeah.
Describe what was the play, what happened, how did it go down?
It was, you know, we've seen a lot of ACLs, and again, I don't want to speak for them. They didn't tell me it was an ACL, just a knee injury, but we've seen a lot of those ACL injuries recently, and a lot of them are kind of on fluky, not really hard contact plays. He didn't get touched. It was a play where he was running away from a potential tackler, got about 6 yards down the field, leg kind of slipped in the grass, leg buckled, and he went down, and that was it. He hopped off the field, and I thought maybe sprained something, but as soon as I heard, kind of got the temperature from the sidelines, from some of the coaches and some of the fans that are down there, you could tell they were pretty worried about it.
We'll learn a lot from that game.
Yeah,
for sure.
absolutely.
I'm assuming that'll be the game that you're at on Friday.
I'm actually at one of the next games we're going to be talking about.
The transition.
the Heritage Bowl. I'm at the Carver and Spencer. Hey, what? You're in charge.
You can do transitions, but we'll talk about the Heritage Bowl next. Carver and Spencer, and you know, everybody's main focus is going to be on Jawan Pass and how he does. Had a great comeback. Once again, you saw that comeback last week in Atlanta.
I covered every game last week. I don't know if you know this.
Were you at Valley too?
Nah, not quite. I was at 4 games. It's about as many as I can do.
You got a little bit on your frequent flyer miles.
Yeah.
I don't think you know how flyer miles work, Jack, when you drive.
You have to fly. But that's all right.
You know how my cliches work.
Cliches. Cliche counter 1.
Carver, Jawan Pass. Can we get back to business here?
Jawan Pass.
Okay.
Okay.
That team.
Jawan Pass counter. I think it's 2 actually.
The offense last week looked very out of sync for 3 or more quarters. Even pass, he was kind of overthrowing some guys, throwing behind a few guys. There were a lot of drops by the wide receivers, so the numbers didn't look good. The yardage didn't look great. The score certainly wasn't about to look very good for a while, and then all of a sudden, they make the play that they need to make. And I was sitting next to the Carver coaching box, and I hear one of them say, that's why we have a big-time quarterback. That's exactly right, because, put everything else behind them, and Juwan Pass can go out and make the play. And it wasn't just him. I mean, the defense played well. Jacoby Cunningham came up with a big catch, 72-yard catch to win the game. And, I don't know that Carver answered all of our questions, because there were questions about the team, but they showed a lot of mettle, and they won a tough game on the road, and it's one down for them.
Juwan answered a question for me, though, because for years, I think we can all agree, Juwan Pass has had the athletic ability, the talent, the God-given gift that you need to be what he is.
Absolutely.
He's had that since he was probably in middle school.
Yeah.
I have felt that Juwan Pass as a whole, and that team as a whole, has underperformed for what they are.
Yes.
There's a lot to be said.
And I think they'd say the same thing. 8 wins is not what Carver
and quick playoff
expects. Yeah.
When you have a guy with those skills, when he gets that crunch time, you have to make a play. I saw that at Trey Samuel. Mm-hmm. He was always ready to go at Central.
Yes.
I saw that at Taquan Marshall a couple times. There were those transcendent players that elevate a program beyond what they are. Carver almost had the opposite problem. But when it got down to it, when they were seeming, like you were saying, falling back into what they did last year for 3.5 quarters, when it got
that's
time,
when
Puma came in there, and Puma made the play happen.
Yeah.
Now, it's not just Puma. I get that. There are plenty of guys on Carver. But he's going to get a lot of
It was a great play call, too. I mean, they called the right play. It was executed perfect. And look, this is the thing. They had correct play calls earlier in the game, that there was a receiver that was going to be open, and Puma let the ball go too early, or, the ball was dropped. But that says a lot about a team and about an offense and about a player, that in that situation, when if you don't have that play, you're going to lose the game.
We're going to win or lose based on how you
perform on this play. Yeah. And look, again, it's not just one player, but even Coach Joe Kegler told me over the offseason, this is Juwan Pass's team, and we're only going to go as far as Juwan Pass takes us. So
we'll be looking out for that one. Another game we're looking out for, your favorite player, Lorenzo Smothers.
Yeah. That's my boy. What's up, Lorenzo? I know
love me
he
some
may be
Lorenzo.
watching. He's probably not watching. He's probably running or something.
He's probably out of practice.
Get the podcast version, which probably doesn't exist.
Podcast version doesn't exist, but we can make that happen.
Hey, Jack.
More work.
Idea number 1. I'm counting a lot.
You're doing a lot of counting.
Inefficiently.
I thought you went to journalism.
I did.
Anyway.
Keep moving.
Anyway, Marion County, they start their season off against Miller County at home.
Yeah.
And for Marion County, this is all about, you got Lorenzo Smothers, senior year. He's looking to go out as state champion one more time. Got to Hawkinsville again in the state semifinals, lost a heartbreaker at home. So I think this is just more of a redemption season for Marion County than anything.
Yeah, redemption's kind of a word reserved for, maybe a team that underachieved. And I don't know that you can say that they underachieved. They went up against a defense that was loaded, very senior laden last year, and were 1 or 2 plays away from still winning that game.
And a crazy field goal kick that no one in the stadium, even I don't believe that kicker at Hawkinsville thought that. I still don't believe that.
So Marion County still with that one loss in the last.
Was it 25?
Yeah, some amount of games. They're every bit as good, I think, as we've come to expect from them. I think Mike Swaney told me the defense he thinks is farther along than it was to start last year. The offense, new quarterback, and look, I think what you get in this guy is a little bit more athleticism than Dustin Eckert had, but Eckert was very efficient. He didn't turn the ball over.
And his timing routes were on precision every time.
Yeah. So, I think that offense, when you got Smothers on the offense, I think it's every bit as good as it was a year ago.
I don't think, don't complicate things.
No. Yeah.
Smothers needs to touch the ball as much as he can.
Exactly.
Sure.
And because he's definitely the best player in 1A that I know of.
Yeah.
That I've seen. He might be the best player in our area, period.
I was just going to say, I think he's the best running back in our area.
I think Lorenzo has a chance to do something really special this year. I think Marion County obviously does too. They don't have a lot of time to kind of get this season going because Dooley County is, I believe, in 2 weeks.
Right.
And that's probably their toughest region game, with Hawkinsville losing as much as they did, senior-wise. Yeah. Dooley County's a good team.
Look out for Pacelli. Look out for Pacelli.
I said it last year. I'll say it again. You say look out for Pacelli. I say look out for Brookstone.
Brookstone could be a good team as well. I think Pacelli has, you talk about senior laden. They've got a lot of really good seniors on that team. So, but that's down the road.
I'm talking about you want to look out for Lorenzo Smothers.
Hey, man, I
don't disagree with that. You can't.
No,
you can't. No, you can't. I love watching that kid play. So our last game that we're going to cover this week. Auburn Opelika. Need I say more? Auburn Opelika.
I think it's the best rivalry in our area. I know you don't get to cover it as much, but you cover them when they come into this area to play Central and other teams. But the atmosphere in an Auburn Opelika game is it's different.
Yeah,
it's that rivalry game that kind of supersedes an average football game. So this is an interesting matchup because last year Opelika broke a 7-game losing streak to Auburn. Auburn has a new coaching staff. They had the impressive comeback win against Gadsden City last week. Opelika played until the wee hours of the morning because of rain delays, and they won their game against Tuscaloosa.
And got back. I think they just got back.
There's a chance they just got back. Opelika has a 4-star quarterback in Jake Bentley, his first year under the helm because Matthew Christian left. Josh Johnson runs the ball a lot. He had over 100 yards in his first game. Opelika is very talented offensively. Opelika has depth issues, so they have to figure that out early. I really don't know what Auburn High School has. Auburn underperformed for the first 3 quarters of last season and then overperformed massively in the last quarter of the season.
I still don't know how to make
enough to make it into the playoffs. And then didn't they win a playoff game?
No, I think they lost in the first round to Foley.
Okay. It was close.
Yeah, it was very close.
They shouldn't have got to that point. You're right, based on the
I don't know how they made it.
I'm on its face, I think Opelika has an advantage because it's at home and because they do have Jake Bentley, who, from what I've seen, makes that offense more versatile than it's been in the past. Opelika has always been a hard-nosed, pound-you-in-the-face kind of a team. Jake Bentley can throw the ball. Matthew Christian could, too. This is another element to it because Matthew Christian's playing college football at Murray State. Bentley's going to play in the SEC. That's the difference.
Yeah. Should be a good one.
It's going to be... I can't. That's honestly one of the games I'm looking forward to this week.
Those kind of games are different to me. A couple years ago when Smith Station was so good, they played at Opelika, and I think they won 3-0.
Atmosphere. Yeah,
and atmosphere was tremendous.
Yeah,
they hit harder in those games.
Yeah,
those kids want it even a little bit more.
Look up a Monte Caban's hit in that game.
Oh, somebody's gonna get hurt. Yeah. Somebody's gonna get hurt. So we cover all of our top games. If we didn't cover your game, we'll be out and about this Friday night on the Prep Zone.
Real quick, let me mention one more. LaGrange, Troop, we'll mention it real fast. LaGrange was very impressive their first week. Talk about a team Carver should be kind of looking at as far as reach and stuff going. LaGrange is a good team. And Diallo Burke's got swag. You know what I'm saying? Diallo got some swag, and that team's got swag.
Well, we talked about it last week that in this region we've got Carver, and then we're kind of waiting for that team who can step up and contend, if not just for that for the region title, just for that number 2 spot. But LaGrange might be that team. I think we saw some good things from Shaw last week. So. I think early on we'll start to see some of these teams start to prove that they can be a contender in that region.
I can't wait for the region schedule.
Hey,
I can't wait.
Patience.
1-5 is going to be a crapshoot.
Patience.
I mean, the region schedule starts very soon. And we were talking about Auburn Central in a couple weeks.
Yeah, 2-3 weeks. We'll be right. We're going to be in the thick of it.
And you'll be at Carver
this week,
Spencer.
I'll be at Carver Spencer this week, covering Heritage Bowl. Always a big deal. Football is almost secondary in this game. It's just a great rivalry, a lot of great atmosphere,
Carver's.
a lot of alumni, a lot of grilling, a lot of talking.
I'll be there for the pregame party, but then I'm going to leave and go to Auburn and Opelika.
That'll be a good one as
I know
well.
you're gonna love that. I will be at Cowboy Stadium for LaGrange and Troop.
There you go.
You get to see that swag in person.
Hey man, I love
Diallo, I hope you watch this. I want some of your swag, homie. Like, pass that my way. Y'all need it too. I'm just saying. I'm gonna be real. Y'all both need it.
I think you need it too.
I look like I work at the movie theater. I get it.
I say you're the one to talk.
I can rock this. Diallo can rock this way better than me, but
I got you.
he got the white beard now too.
This just turned into what not to wear.
I think this is just turned into what we think of Diallo Burks.
I mean, I think very highly of Diallo Burks, and I want everyone to know it.
Okay.
You heard it. You heard it
find me
here
a coach
first.
of more swag in our area. Mike Swaney's got a little bit, but it's different.
Jamie DeBose.
Yeah, he got some swag. Brian Blackman, shout out to you. You got swag.
I've lost all control of this show.
This is gonna happen more than I'm here. Just so y'all know. And I warned you.
I know.
Take control here. Take the reins back, Jack.
Joe Keller got a little bit of swag. It's different kind of swag too.
On to the Friday night tailgate.
Friday night swag gate.
Speaking of people that got swag, Chief Meteorologist Bob Jeswald.
Hey, he's behind the camera over there.
What's up, guys?
Yeah, you hear him?
Yeah, you can hear him over. You can hear him on the mic.
I'll go over here.
I'll be at the Heritage. Okay.
Just talking my mic.
Okay, here I'm over here. I'll be at the Heritage, but why don't I just come up?
Why don't you
there?
just come up here, man? Oh, I took the other chair down. Just come up here on the
I'll
desk.
just come over here for a second and just.
Good
thanks.
grief.
Okay, again, I'm going to be at the Heritage Bowl for like the third year in a row for tailgating. It has rained almost every time, and we have a little rain in the forecast. So if there's any, and I'm not really worried about Friday, Saturday I'd be worried about more. But what is it going to be what's going to be the big deal here today? I overheard you think Carver's going to do something this time, or what?
Jawan Pass, Carver's quarterback, is one of the best dual-threat quarterbacks in the nation, and they had a big comeback win their first game of the week.
Yeah, I feel awkward sitting back here too. That's
Pretty
fine.
good. It's small, but Dayne's the tallest one out of all of us here.
Way back here, I can do that too.
Oh boy.
So, just tell us. Like, I think it was our motto last year. Just no lightning.
Hashtag
right?
no
Friday night,
lightning.
Just no
We're gonna
lightning.
go no lightning.
Because all the people in Opelika are praying for that after what they went through last Friday
Yeah.
night in Tuscaloosa.
That's right. That's crazy. Well, let me ask you this: backing off from the weather for one moment, who typically wins the most games at the Heritage Bowl? Is it
It's
usually
Carver.
It's been Carver's
Carver,
rivalry.
yeah.
One? Okay. Do we think Carver's going to take this one based on the performances you said?
Yes.
Then?
I
Just clear
think
for me
it
when
looks
I'm out
that
there.
way. Yeah.
Okay, so
yeah.
Spencer's the underdog coming in here.
Spencer is, they'd be the
Okay.
underdog for sure.
Okay, well, good luck, Spencer. I'll pull for Spencer this year. So we'll be out there, but it'll be a lot of fun. So you come on out to the tailgate. This is airing before the tailgate, I hope.
Yes.
Okay. So anyway, come on out to the tailgate. So just play.
We planned this thing really well.
We're
Yeah.
just off by a couple minutes here. But the tailgate will be a lot of fun. We'll have a lot of soft drinks and much more, even a vehicle from BMW, one of our sponsors. It looks like Shane's Rib Shack will be there as well, one of our food sponsors. So come on down and get a little ribs and sweet tea.
Man, sounds like a good day.
At JP, I was going to say at AJ McClung, but I'll be at another location too. So we'll be at AJ McClung Memorial Stadium right at the main gate, and we'll be able to mange, as we would say.
All right. You heard it, man. He'll be there for first the evening edition.
Wow, I can't believe I did some sports. We'll see you guys in a bit. Well, Dayne, come
Well, I
take
mean,
your
you
seat.
used to do news in Vegas, right?
That's right, I did. I used to anchor.
So,
Stay back there, Dan.
so Dayne, please don't fall through the back part of the set. I guess me and David will
We'll finish this out.
we'll wrap this up. So, big games this week. As always, follow us on Twitter at LE Prep Sports. That guy back somewhere back there. At Dan Young, I'm at J Patterson TV, and also follow the WRBL Sports account. We'll keep you updated all Friday night, and we'll have scores and more on the Prep Zone. Hey Dayne, who's co-hosting with you Friday night?
Bill Scoggins! He is.
Yeah, so
Bill Scoggins on the Prep Zone Friday night.
Friday night, 11:15, 10:15 Central. So for David Mitchell and Dayne Young and Bob Jeswald, I'm Jack Patterson. We hope you enjoyed this crazy edition of the PrepZone Football Preview. And join us next week, everybody. Have fun. Go enjoy the game.
Lost control.